Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Let me know if you can hear the pretty music, or if it's too loud or anything. All right, so what am I working on? All right, roll mechanic. I want to get it to where the portals, you can actually, when you shoot the portal, you can actually see where the portal is going. Alright, so let me get that working. I don't have a camera. Yep. And the camera is based off of... Alright, so I have a camera portal offset. And I have a depth offset, which is good. So for the portal offset, I think I need to set that value while it's being shot. Maybe that will give me what I need to do. Get rid of some of these put statements. All right, only set the, do I ever clear out that value? I'm sure I set it to, oh, okay, it compresses down to that value. Okay, that makes sense. Let me see if that's what I want. Okay, so if I die, what if I die from, I'm wondering if it's it wasn't zooming out, which is what I wanted to do. So let me see if I can get it to zoom out. Does it zoom out? No, it doesn't. So that's based on the camera target zoom. And the zoom is based off of okay, zoom only takes into consideration the speed of the player. It doesn't take into consideration any of the distance aspects. only takes into consideration the speed of the player. All right, so if I take out, I want to change that. It looks like. So if I set these values to 0, and now there won't be any zoom at all. Okay, that's good. No zoom. If I go back to the camera, what is this current offset? When I say current offset, does that mean the player's current offset? Where do I actually set this value? Like, what does this value even represent? Hey bud, how's it going? So what I'm trying to figure out is, let me show you. All right, so I've got this, hello Fascination, welcome to the chat, welcome, first time, appreciate you hanging out. So what I'm trying to figure out is, all right, when I shoot this portal, you can kind of see where it's going, unless you're shooting it off screen. So if I shoot it off screen, you don't see where the portal went. And a part of me wants to determine if I should just like follow the portal. But ideally what I'd want it to do would be something like, you know, it zooms out like that and then puts the player and portal in the same area. Well, actually I take that, do I want to do that? Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to get it to work. Hey Mark, how's it going? So right now, so the problem right now is that, yeah, you shoot a portal, you have no idea where it went, but it may have hit a wall, and in this case, right, there's the wall that it hit, but it's all the way up there. And I want to be able to put the portal in focus when you shoot it off screen. And right now, let's see, the way the camera works, the camera takes the player as the focal point. Okay? So let me see what I can do there. So what if the camera isn't the focal point? What if it's something else? So if I do like just +100, +100, would I expect the camera to do is shift up and to the right. I didn't even change anything. All I changed was 2 values, I swear. What did I break? Yeah, I don't think I broke any of that. Maybe just look at the error message. That'd be too easy. Oh, the current line fade, it's called beacon. So if I change, like, yeah, if I go to a different file, I actually know where I am. But yeah, it's called beacon. Okay, it says the syntax error. Okay, it was in camera. So if I remove that. Alright, so if I just increment each one of these by 100, I'm expecting the camera to move over. We'll do 400. Yeah, so the focal point does change, so that's good. And then, what is rect? How am I using rect? Oh, okay, that's the primitive that I'm trying to place into the world. Okay. So that's the primitive I'm trying to put into the world. And then this is basically the focal point. Okay. So let me look at usages and see what it looks like if I just focus in on the camera everywhere, on the portal everywhere. Yeah, I'm always using the player. I'm always taking into consideration the player. And the player is being passed in. Yeah, the player is always being passed in. Alright, let's try this out. So, in my game... Do I not have a game? Is it all just in main? It's in main, okay. So let me do focal point. And then, for the focal point... Focal? Is that how focal is spelled? I think so. I want it to be the player. I want it to be the player. I think that's good. And do I want to change all the usages immediately, even though I don't know if it's going to look good or not? I don't think so. Not yet, at least. So let me jury rig it first to see what it looks like, and if I like it, then I'll use that. So focal point, I'll set that equal to the player, and then yep, this will just be focal point for both of those values. So that shouldn't have broken anything. Yep, my focal point is still good. It's on the player. It's weird that it's all the way to the right. Oh, focal point of the... I just broke everything. Let me go back to where I was. Okay, there's the player. I'm gonna set it to the focal point, and it shouldn't... It... Really? Really? Let's set the focal point within the game. We'll put it at the top of tick for now. And we'll always set it to the player. There we go. Alright, so the focal point is set to the player. And that looks good. And then when I shoot a portal, I want the focal point to change. So for portals, alright, so portals, how are portals working? We have our calculation of the player, shot portal. So a portal, how do I denote that it's shot? Okay, so if it isn't placed, I'll set the focal point to the portal. Otherwise, I'll set it to the player. And let me look at my schema file. So I have a portals. No. I don't capture the state for the portal. Let me look at my defaults. That's the results. So for that's the input, so portal.input. Alright, so state.blue portal and state.orange portal. Let me update my schema file for that. Blue portal and orange portal, they have dx, dy, and then there's a placed also. Bounce isn't placed. Alright. Just to save time there in the future. Okay. So if we go back to my game. And so we have our focal point. So state.blue portal and state.blue portal if it isn't placed, then I want to set the focal point to the blue portal. Else, I want to set it to the player. Alright, so if I shoot, let's see what happens. Exception. There we go. So there's the blue portal. And then places, and then I wanted to shift back. I don't want to like shift back as horribly as it does there. But I think that looks good. So let's expand on this just to see if that was a little disorienting. So blue and orange portal. I usually have my camera just as an object that holds the offset of the bottom left and target. Yeah, so the camera is a little bit... yeah, and I do have that concept, but this camera is a little bit trickier because there's multiple things that I'm taking into account. So I'm taking into the current offset and current offset Y is the lerp right here, but I don't want it to like quickly shift based on the depth offset and the portal offset. So like an example would be, let me go to, yeah, so this final location here. So I'm over here, and if I die, you'll see that my starting point is that location. So I have the camera offset that follows the player. But if I'm like all the way up here, and let's say like I die here, there's multiple lerps that are happening because I want to take into consideration the point of death, and watch what happens when I remove that. So if I remove the point of death, the offset looks a little off. See how it immediately goes straight to the player, and the reason is that it's following the player as its core focal point, but and that's what it's using the lerp. But on death, I update the player's location immediately, so then I have to keep into consideration other lerps that occurred. An example being where the death occurred from. And then the same issue is that if I change the player, if I actually teleport. So there's my portal there, and then if I perform a teleport, I'm immediately changing the player's X and Y location. But I want to lerp to that location instead of immediately jumping to it. So that's the caveat. That's the primary gotcha there. So what I need is, in the event of a focal point change, I need to also take that into consideration. Yes, the camera wouldn't know anything about a player or anything, just current and target. Yeah, and that's a fair point. Is that what I probably should do is instead of the let me go to my target. And that might be a better refactor, is to put all the computation in target, so then I'm not doing the math inside of where I'm doing right now, and then just lerp on that one specific value. So I want camera, that target. Right, so here's where I'm doing the lerp of the cameras. Right. So current offset at X, target offset X. You can consider that as current X and target X, and current Y and target Y. That's probably a better name, anyways. But what I'm doing here is that I have multiple targets for where the camera is, and then I do a summation at the end. Right, and here's the lerp that I'm doing. I'm also doing computations on the launch angle. So yeah, it's a little muddy, and you're right. You're right. The concept of the camera is a little muddied at this point. So, one, I'm going to remind myself how let me show you how I do the computation right now, and then that might help explain how I can refactor to where I remove all these summations that I'm doing here. Okay. So I've got this concept of a focal point, right? So when the focal point changes, I want to replicate what I did on death. Right. So right here, this is where I set the death offset. All right. So in the event of a focal point change, I want to set the focal point offset. And I'll get rid of these global variables once we figure this out. Let me read what you said. Yeah, offset in that case, also zoom, target. Wouldn't know anything about the player, I agree. Usually you would always set the target to keep player in center. Yeah, and in this case, the target, think of it more as like a potentially like a Smash Brothers camera, where you're trying to keep all the interesting things that you want to view within the space of the camera. And yeah, and set the target based on the dependency on the game logic. And I agree. Yeah, I think that would probably be long term what I should be doing. So here I'm setting the focal point of the portal. And I have no idea if this is correct or not. That's what I'm trying to reason through. Otherwise, I'll set the focal point to the player. And then let's look at my lerp. So I only set it once, and then here's the lerp. And I should move the calc camera function over. So I'll do that as a to-do also. All right. So I'll say, I know this is still gross. I know. It's the grossest code ever. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna look good. And if it doesn't look good, then it's like, well, why did I spend all that refactoring just to get something that I don't like? So that's the lerp of the focal point, and then here I do the summation of that specific focal point, right? Yeah. Camera 21. Yeah. And then this would be or equal for now. So I won't worry about setting it back to the player. Calc camera. I'm still jacking something up. Yeah, I'm just there we go. That's the problem. There we go. Okay. I don't think this is gonna work as expected. Because it'll only get set once, and that's it. So I do want it to change. Alright, so it changes. Okay, that's kind of what I want. Alright, so if I set it, and I think I'm just going in the wrong direction. So what if I subtract instead of add? Nope, that's definitely not correct. But yeah, I'm still passing this in over here. It's tricky. I need to figure out what I want it to work like, and then once I figure out if I like it, then refactor the code to incorporate that, and then refactor it again to simplify this camera stuff. This will be based off of the distance from the player. That's not correct either. Yeah, I think I might have to do the refactor first before trying to incorporate this concept and simplify how I'm doing the target and then the lerping. But I wish I can figure out the magic concoction that I need. Okay, that kind of worked. See that? That kind of worked. It was close. Is the focal point offset just the location of the player? No. It almost kind of sort of worked. But it's going too far. Let me slow-mo this. We'll bring it down. Right. I bet you I can reuse the portal things that I already have. See, it's going too far. And then when it's set, when it finally hits, then it goes back. Yeah, you know what? I think I just need to set... So I've got a portal focal point. It's such a weird word. You say it too many times and it loses its meaning. So calc shot portal. And where do I set... Where do I set the portal location? Oh, I only set the portal when the player actually goes through it. Yeah, so there's the portal offset. So player X minus player location before and after. All right, so what if I just set the... What if I always set it? Is it as simple as that? Nope. Do I have to set both properties? Yeah, I don't think I should change the focal point to the portal. Keep it as the player. Player location before use. This needs to be the actual portal location. Okay, that looks good. There we go. That's what I want. I think that looks good. Maybe? So let me go to my final... So my final location. I roll over here, and then I'm like, all right, let me shoot the portal. And it got set. And what I bring on the screen needs to... Oh, this goes back to my render target. Maybe I need to render more on my render target. How am I deciding what's in the render target? Right, as the player moves... So the problem was that when the portal shot, I didn't see this area right here. And I'm wondering why. So my viewport rect is... It only takes... do I even use this? Yeah, I use that. Alright, so my viewport does not take into consideration the location of the camera. It just takes the player's X and Y location into play. So once I get this working, then we can work on the refactor. So all of this can stay player for now. Oh, thank you. Sorry. I gotta remember not to zoom out. All right. So my viewport rect needs to take into consideration right. So here's my viewport rect, and I'm using that to determine what should be shown. And all I'm doing here is I'm saying whatever's close, whatever's near the player. And I think that's incorrect because I need to take into consideration all this stuff. Can I just do 2 camera space? That would be fairly elegant. So that's the rect I want to have relative. The player, the camera. That's definitely not correct. Nothing gets rendered. Zero zero. So yeah, maybe just negative 1280. That's also not correct. Let's try this. This concept of a focal point again. I don't know why I'm keep gravitating to that. So 2 camera space. We'll just take the player for both values. And then what if I just use... I don't think this is what I want either. Because this will always be relative to the player. Okay, that's what I need. So this, I can't go back to that stupid value of what I'm trying to follow. Right, if state dot blue portal and state dot blue portal dot placed. If it isn't placed, then I want my focal point to be the blue portal. And I think this is what I want. All right, so now if I shoot it, I gotta shoot it farther. Yeah, so now I did see it. It's a really harsh movement, especially on the bounce. I think on the bounce, I'm jacking up the collision. Okay. So what did we learn? Yeah, I like it following the player like that. That's good. Or the portal. And then you can move into it. Boop. And then make it up. So now I can see where I'm shooting my portals. So if I shoot it, yep, and then I need to set some kind of like lifetime in the portal so it doesn't follow it forever. Okay. I was like, I don't know where I'm shooting. Yeah, so that feels good because you can see where the portal is going. All right. So that's what I want, sort of. But not what I want. Yeah, and I think adding the zoom out, and so like see here, same deal. All right, so I don't want to completely undo the changes. Yeah, these values are nil now. I don't want to undo the changes, but I want to kind of comment it out. And let me show you how I do the. Yeah, so we can actually do the zoom also. So let me make sure I have zoom in place right now. Okay, zoom is not in place right now. Yeah, let's get it looking how I want first, and then I can do all the zooming stuff. Actually, yeah, here's the zoom. So player.dx, player.dy. So now we should get a zoom. Right, so there's your zoom. And if I go back to my schema, yeah, portals. The portals have zoom also. So here's the focal point. So now I want to change the zoom to be based off of the focal point. So now what I expect right? Lots of zoom. Way too much zoom. Let's see what my zoom value ends up being. It becomes negative, which I obviously don't want, but let's see what the zoom value was when, how fast the zoom gets for the player. All right, so maybe clamp it to 0.8. How did it know? That's that's... I swear, this autocomplete stuff, Copilot, I have no idea how it knew 0.8. That's wild. Alright. So there's your zoom. So so I'm updating Zoom DX every frame, which doesn't mean, and then I'm immediately just throwing away that value. All right, let me do a commit saying like this is kind of what I working. Level editing. Increase cooldown of OMS. Updated schema. Yeah, and then this is the camera stuff, work in progress, basically. So, a quick question, Fascination. I guess, like, since this is the first time you've seen me on stream, the way that I approach building a video game, is it kind of like similar to you? Like, where are the differences? Where are the commonalities? All right, we don't need the global variable. You don't use Vim for one. Well, I forgive you for that. That's okay. That's fine. We can't all be perfect. I get it. That bounce is really weird. But only for the orange portal. It like does this like weird ugly shift. I'll figure that out in a second. Yeah, I gotta figure out that shift, but let's wait, where'd my zoom go? Is this still zooming? Oh, focal viewport. What the deuce? Oh, I redefine it here. There we go. That's correct. Awesome. I'm glad that it's easier. It's fairly easy to follow. Yeah, so that's the other tricky thing. Like the viewport changes, right? And then because the viewport changes, it removes the it removes the location, the rendering area, which is again also annoying. Those things those little tweaks will happen. All right. So that's one change I wanted to make. The calc of the camera, I need to move that over. Yeah, the live reload. I dog food my stuff. Like, I legitimately dog food this stuff. So live reload would not be in there if it didn't work. But yeah, starting and stopping, you lose where you are in the game. You know, all that stuff unfortunately goes away. And it's not fun. Yeah, it's hard to break that habit too, because you're so used to like everything out there having you stop and restart, and it's just, it feels like madness. It's like, why do we do this? But we're used to it, and it's hard to break that habit. Totally get it. Oh no, I don't have enough to get over, and now I die. Alright, so let's move calc camera over. And then I need to make sure I pass in values into this. Target zoom is not on camera. Is everything else on camera? Yeah. State that camera, pass that in. And then here, remove all things of state. I need to pass in the focal point. Players also in there? Because I want the player's location, okay? Getting a better understanding of my dependencies, level. Yeah, so the camera is used in whether it's God mode or not. Mouse down. What the hell do I use mouse down for? Comment that out for now. Oh, that's for touch gestures. I probably need to fix that. All right, so calc should be working. Yep, calc works. There's the zoom of the camera. All right, so that's in a good place. All right, so I have a concept of a focal point, which I don't entirely understand why I need. Calc camera has all this mess in there right now. So if I create a variable called target X, so I think that's another thing, that's another facet of lerping on target X and current X is that some of these offsets might change. So if let's say the portal offset, I want the lerp of that to be a little bit slower than in the event of death. Slower would be a higher value. Right. But in the event of a death, I want the lerp of the camera to be faster. Right, so a very fast lerp might be 80% of the value. So extremely fast lerp on death, but a slower lerp of the camera on the application of the portal. Right. So that's one reason why I don't have this concept of a target X. And the zoom is dependent. Yeah, it depends on what I'm following. Am I following the player or the portal? So yeah, I don't know if I'm entirely convinced yet to create a centralized concept of where the camera needs to be and where the camera currently is, and where the zoom needs to be and where the zoom currently is. I think. I could have a current location, which actually makes sense. I think it's worth extracting that at least. Right, I want all this for the current location. Oh, the DX and DY. I'm not even using that. Am I using that anywhere? Am I actually overriding any of these values? No, I don't think so. So, don't need that. Maybe I am using them. Where was I using them? Rect player and camera. Yep. Where's this saying I'm using them? I don't need the player anymore. Render collision boxes. Camera. Where am I using DY and DX? Oh, no. That's all I changed. Oh, dummy. There you go. That ain't right. I broke something. There we go. All right. $9.58. 958. Portal's 400. Yep. I was just setting default values there. Don't need that. Alright, so all the default values were being used there. 2 camera space, line 17. 422 on portals. Yep, same here, default values are being used. So I'm not using DX and DY anywhere. Hey Donut, how's it going? I'm updating it to where it follows the when you shoot a portal, it actually follows the portal. And the general concept was there, and I got that working. And then I was like, all right, well now I need to refactor and figure out what that cleaner implementation looks like. Right, so there's your portal implementation, the following of the portal, which is fancy. Yeah, I need to change my portal speed back, or the lerp of the portal back. And so I did that, and then the next question is that to compute the current location of the camera, I've got multiple targets. So I've got this offset, the death offset, the portal offset. So all these targets exist, and the concept of getting like the current camera's position is a lerp across all these targets as opposed to a lerp out across a single property. And I was trying to, I was asking myself the question of why do I have all these properties and not just a single property that I lerp over. And I think the answer I came up with was based on the event that occurred. The lerp, I might want the lerp to be different. So maybe for portals, I want the lerp back to the player to be slower than in the event of a player death. So when a player dies, I want it to zoom back much faster. So that's what I'm telling myself right now with respect to why I'm not consolidating all this into a single property that I end up computing. I'm trying to convince myself, and I think I'm trying to convince Fisher also. Another thing that changes is like, yeah, the offset here. When you move your aim reticle, you can see the camera kind of shifts around too. So all of these values influence where the final camera position will exist, and the lerp across all those influences could potentially vary. It doesn't vary right now. Yeah, because this would technically be called aim offset, right? And then the current off. How am I using the? What is current offset? How's that used? And I'm not even using. How am I using the target offset value? I have the value, but I'm not using it. But it's working. It's working though. Why is it working? It shouldn't work. Oh, here's the compute right there that I'm doing. So see, I'm partially doing the compute in this regard, but everywhere else I'm not doing that. Or I guess I have this final location of the camera that I want. Okay. So let me get some. I'm not lerping there at all, which I think is fine. So I'll call this, instead of calling this target offset, I'll call this aim offset, just to get a better picture of what I'm even trying to consolidate, if there's anything to consolidate. Hey SS2, hey Sire, how's it going? So aim offset Y. So right here, I'm changing the aim offset. And what I'm wondering is if I remove that, right? So no movement there. And then if I add the aim offset as another thing. That ain't right. Is it a subtraction? That ain't right. Undo, undo. All right, so my aim offset looks like it's just an ephemeral variable. So target offset, that shouldn't even exist in those things. Perhaps another difference between your style and mine is that I would have made the camera stateful by now. An instance, I'm kind of there already. The statefulness of the camera is the values of the camera are stored in application state or inside of the game state, and then I'm kind of using. I'm trying to avoid mutation to get that current location of the camera, and I can't convince myself. I can't communicate why I'm doing that, other than I'm trying to have all my mutation in one place, and then potentially have all the properties that influence that mutation as transparent as possible. So I know the current location is influenced by these three properties. How does that help me? I've got that granularity in the data. Has it helped me in the past? I don't know. So I don't need these values. These go away. That goes away, and that goes away. Right. Okay, so the target offset, the final target offset is just these things. Right? So if I removed all the other influences to what affects the focal point. So this is that core camera property, right? And then when I change, it immediately shifts over. And then the lerp of the camera, as far as like its current location, is informed by the death location, the portal, the death location, and the portal location. Those are the two things that influences the final location of the camera. And each one of those values are lerped at a different, could potentially be lerped at a different rate. Right now, they're lerped at the same rate. And then do I lerp this at all? No, I don't. It is kind of lerped. So yeah, based on the explanation I gave about my statefulness of the camera, there is state to the camera. It is stateful. It's just the state is housed in something that I can serialize to disk. So here I can look at state.camera, and those are all the props on the camera. So the question is for me is what's the difference between having an instance variable versus having these properties like this? And I'm pretty close, right? I've got these functions, and I am mutating right here. That's another facet, is that I probably shouldn't mutate. I should probably return, here's the new state of the camera, and then do the mutation at the top level. But yeah, it's like one of those things where I can do that. I can do that change. So right here, an example of where I do that would be, so here I do the mutation directly inside also when I do the calculation of the portal. I think there is a place where I don't mutate, and then I do the mutation at the top level. So an example would be like the FX that is the result of me like using that system. So that little zoom out of the FX, I'm not actually doing the mutation and adding it to the queue within the construction of the prefabs. I'm adding that as the side effect is at the top level, but for all my calc functions, it's the side effect is within the function itself. Yeah, and the benefit of storing everything in state is that one, puts works. Like if I do a puts of game, do I even have game as a top level variable? Yeah, there you go. Thanks Ruby. That's great. It tells me absolutely nothing about the game. Neither does game.inspect. But yeah, having all those properties inside of a hash gives me that visibility up front. Plus I get all the functionality of a hash. I can do the merge. I can do key value pair. Some of the qualities of hash I can immediately benefit from that a base Ruby object doesn't have. It's still object oriented. Hashes are totally hashes are totally objects. But yeah, gravitating immediately jumping to a class as an instance. I don't know why I resist immediately going to objects. I think the point of where I move to an object is where if the serialization doesn't benefit me. Pump Rock says hashes are part of the implementation of something that people call a hash. And yeah, everything is an object. Yeah. Yeah. When I hear OOP, I hear class oriented programming, not necessarily object oriented, which is not bad. I mean, having classes is a what's it called? A specialized approach to object oriented, and it works. But yeah, I think that's as far as I want to take the refactor. Yeah, I think that's as far as I want to take the refactor for now. But yeah, the question is do I really need to have two separate properties to lerp over, or is it simple enough to just lerp over a single property? And this current offset, I think like this is what I mean by this is like this is the current X of the camera. And the target X, this target X takes into consideration the launch vector. Or the launch angle, and then uses that to set the final location. And I probably should only take the launch vector into consideration if the player is actually aiming. All right, so yeah, let's go back to kind of cleaning up this idea of a portal. So yeah, this is a situation where I want to like scale this wall, right? So let me go inside of the portal, jump up here. Let me put a checkpoint here. All right. So you made it up this wall, and then you keep up with your scaling the side of this world. You get up here. Let's put a checkpoint here. All right, you made it up there, and then you're like, all right, now I need to make it up this area. So you do this, and you're like, okay, I can't get there. I need to get all the way up there, and now I'm out of maneuverability in the air, so I have to set some kind of portal. So you do that, you shoot out the portal. So that's one location of the portal. And then let's say you set the other location here. You go in. Ouch. Let's try that again. I still can't. Yeah, even when I'm aiming the portal. Yeah, I made it a little bit nicer. I'm still kind of shooting the portal blind, right? I can't see exactly where I'm aiming the portal. So maybe. Yeah, so like what if I increase this value to 500 and 200? Just so I have a better... It's still not perfect. Uh, 600 and 300. Alright, so that gives me a little bit better feel for where I'm aiming. And then I shoot the portal. I almost want to zoom out to like be able to basically that's kind of what I want to do right here is like zoom out. All right, so I've set that portal. And then I want to set the next portal. Let's say here. And then I'm going to shoot the player. So I still can't see where the portal is. Something to take into consideration. So now I jump all the way up. I use the momentum of the portal. There's the exit. And make it up to the next area. I like that, I think. Put another checkpoint here. And this is all by accident. I was like, well, what level should I make next? And I'm like, wait, what happens if I scale the outside of the level? All right, so now what's the next scale? So I need to scale up onto this area. So how do I make it up there? Can I just shoot up there? Maybe. Yep. And it's okay if it's simple. Every problem doesn't have to require portals. So I add a checkpoint here. And then what? So I need to make it all the way over here. Can I even do that with my current mechanics? There's no place to put. There's no place to put a portal. Well, I guess I can. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is gonna be cool. So watch this. Okay, so you end up here, and you have no place to put a portal. But you have to make it all the way over there. So how do you make it over there? Yeah, I like the simple one, and so far, like every traversal up the stage, you had some place where you could put a portal to ricochet off of it. But in this specific scenario, you have no, and because of the bounce of the portal, you have no place to actually put a portal up here. So the question is, like, how do you do that? And that's a great question. I have no idea how you're going to do that. Okay, a small idea. So I will put a wall here, like that. Aim at the ground to portal at the top corner. Yeah. So the tricky part is that the portal bounces, right? So if I aim at the ground, so you could potentially like do a bounce like that, but it's not great, right? Okay, so I've got a portal there, and then let's say I put another one here. All right, so now I roll through. Yes, I know the bouncing was your idea. All right, and I didn't make it. So that's an option, but how about this as an option? So you shoot a portal like that, and then you actually go down here. Yeah, and I think you can make the blue higher. But here's another option. So let's say I do this instead. So I use the portal at the bottom to gain a little bit of momentum. And now I've got this vertical momentum, and let's see if that's enough to make it over. Look at that. That's a tough one, though. Alright, but let's try the option of if I didn't have a wall there. Could I make the blue portal higher? So if I made the blue portal higher... Weird collision thing that I need to handle. Even higher. It's pretty high. Let me remove this wall and see how high I can make this. Yep, that's pretty freaking high right there. And then your lower portal could be like right here, and then you roll in. Collisions are a little wonky. Higher. Yeah, there we go. And then the smaller portal can be right there. All right, so you shoot through. have to pull the portal out a little bit more to handle the tunneling right there. Oh, I'm hitting the edge. No, it's just a shitty portal location. I'll make this, let's remove the lava here. Just temporarily, just to see if I can make it up this area. Yeah, I think I need to make the portal jut out a bit more. I'll fix that. I'll fix that in a second. Top portal is in 2 lavas. Oh, that's a good question. No, wait, where did my top portal go? Damn it, I lost it. I need to fix that also. My bad. Oh no. There we go. A little bit higher. I need to have portals expire now that the camera moves away from you. And I accidentally reset my position. Damn it. Yep, so I was here. Let's try this again. No. There we go. That's where I want that one. And the next portal I want here. If you just jump up and portal down, you can't portal while jumping. You cannot shoot a portal while jumping, unfortunately. What's wrong with this portal? Why can't I go through it? Why is it just that portal? I can go through this one. Why can't I go through this? What's wrong with this portal? What the deuce? Did I break portals somehow? Can you not go through horizontal portals? I'm sure you can. Yeah, that worked. What about on this side? Did I break left portals at some point? No, that works. And then can I go in this way? For some reason, it's just that it's just that one specific area. That's really strange. All right, let's put our lava back. There we go. Let's put our blue portal higher. Oh, my portal's breaking because yes, you're absolutely right, I think. So there's my blue portal. I've set my blue portal. Because the orange portal does go away when you set your blue portal. Should it? Should it go away? That's a good question. So right now I should have my blue portal also. Yep. I have my blue portal and my orange portal. Mental note. Should I delete portals? Yep, so that also works too. That works also. Your firing order is strictly alternating. But, you know, I don't have to. Let's say I like the location of my orange portal. And I only want to reset the blue portal. Why force them to, you know, why force them to reshoot the orange portal? So yeah, so that's an approach to getting up there. Also, is using the floor to bounce off of it. But I don't want them to use the floor. What if I want them to use? I mean, more than one way to skin a cat, I guess. Right? If I add a wall here, like this, and that gives them the ability to. So so it's like, all right, I'm gonna shoot my blue portal, like that, and then I'm gonna actually go down here. All the way down here to gain a momentum boost. See, this is a situation. I don't want it to reset my orange portal. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change that. I can change that. When you shoot your blue portal, I don't want to make a nil. Screw you. And my blue portal's in the correct location. They can still launch the top portal corner, even when the roof situation. It just adds. I feel clever rather than I solved it exactly the way they wanted. Yeah, and I'm all down for that. I see nothing wrong with giving them the option. So now I want this to be selected ability needs to be either blue portal or orange portal, not just. Okay, so that's good. And then when you press tab, that needs to go to blue portal. When blue portal, orange portal, and then when orange portal, welcome 9 people in chat. Glad you all are here. Feel free to ask questions if you have any. All right, so those are my different portal options. My aim reticle is poopy. And let's set my state.player.selected ability equal to launch. Let's reset that. All right, so when I tab, blue portal. When I press tab again, it's still blue portal. So what do I need to change here? Calc shot portal. Space. Inputs.space. Do I have an input function here? Yep. All right, if they're on floor, launch requested, and here I want to just say if portal color equal orange, That's why I'm controlling the portal color. Okay. And so wait, do I keep it? So I keep it this way. I keep it portal. I keep it portal. But if the current portal is that, then I want to shoot the blue portal. Or I want to swap back to the blue portal. And I don't want to do that anymore. And I want to control the aim reticle based on which portal is being shot. Yeah, some things that I need to change some things. There's things that need to be changed here. I think I still need this concept. Right, so 2 tabs, that's good. So then here, what I want to set is the aim reticle will be based on not whether orange portal or blue portal is nil. Yeah, aim reticle prefab. This will be based off of not this, but if equipment, selected ability, dot selected ability is equal to blue portal, then it will be blue. Else orange portal. And it only goes onto this if it's one of the other selected abilities. So tab. You're still not changing. Puts blue portal, puts orange portal. Okay, so the value is updating. These are the prefabs, orange portal, and then the aim reticle prefab. The aim reticle prefab takes into consideration the player's selected ability. That controls the color. And now that I have the color should be set. Why is it resetting? Oh, because I'm an idiot. This needs to be, what was my orange color? 255, 125. All right. Okay. Why are you pink? Oh, because I'm in the checkpoint area? No. Am I losing it? What if I set it to 0? It's still pink. What's going on? This is why I can't have nice things. Set it to blue, otherwise red. Red plus blue equals pink, yeah. But if I set this to 0... Okay. Well, I have no idea what was happening there. So 125. All right, there's my orange. All right. So now I have blue and orange. And now the shoot mechanic does what? Calc portal shots, input, and I'm looking at, yeah. I want to look at now I don't care about the portal color anymore. I can actually look at the selected portal, selected ability, and if it's blue portal, then I shoot the blue portal. If it's orange portal, then I shoot the orange portal. And do I even care about the portal color anywhere anymore? I don't think so. I guess I care about the color for the actual shot of the portal. That's fine. Because that sets the current portal color. So now let's see. All right, so I still have my blue portal set, which is good, and I'm like, no, I just want to redo my orange portal. So I set it to orange, and I'm not able to move left or right. A little bit of repetition there. I need to refactor that. Alright, so does it shoot the orange portal out? No, it shoots out a blue portal. Why? It always shoots out a blue portal. Did I just get it backwards? Blue. Both are blue. That's fantastic. That's exactly what I did not want. Orange portal, blue portal. Stay on the blue portal, swap. And I could probably swap for them after a shot occurs, but they have the option of going back. Bad color math, I know. Now the question is like, do I need this portal color, because I'm scoping it on the selected ability now. So I probably don't even need the portal color anymore. So when I shoot, and I'll probably need to set a default case while I'm doing this. So I'm on launch. That would allow you to adjust the interface. Yeah. So you can swap. Orange portal. You set the blue portal, it swaps to orange. You set the orange portal, it swaps back to blue. But you can use tab to do your launches. All right. So where were we? So we were thinking of like, okay, clever ways to get up this area. So I'll cheat and do that, and then I'll say, all right. I didn't know about the fancy like shot trick like this, right? That trick shot where you can make it higher. Oh, now you can't even do the trick shot because of the wall. I don't want to remove the option of doing the trick shot if you want. Yeah, so one approach of getting up there is and another option is to stand on the roof. So yeah, so this is one option where you can just be like, all right, I'm gonna just ricochet it off the bottom to get up there. And then you set your portal. My roll is slow for some reason. I need to figure out what's going on there. There you go. And then you can get up that way. But if you didn't know about the ricochet or that little trick shot, what you can do next instead is you have a tiny wall here. And you can say, all right, I'm going to use this to have some momentum I think I need to move the wall maybe over here. It's like it's a small hint. I'm going to reset the blue portal. There we go. And then just to make sure the portal feels good. Well, I guess you can use the momentum. You don't even have to go all the way down. I think I'm okay with that. Maybe. Get the orange portal out of the way. There you go. So you drop into there. Start building up your momentum. And then use that momentum to get over. I like it. Wow, that one's really, really high. Like, that's so... So, the question here is, do I introduce another mechanic? Let me actually save this, commit this, change. Yeah, working through levels. I'm embarrassed about this commit message. Please don't judge. It's like I did stuff in this commit. So yeah, now the question is, do I introduce another mechanic? And I've been wanting to. I've been wanting to introduce another mechanic. And the mechanic I wanted to introduce was bombs. So like in Metroid, when you're in whatchamacallit? Actually, yeah, when you're in your ball mode, you can do a bomb jump. So then having bombs also technically still solvable with the other inertia jump. Oh, well, the problem here is that how do I set a portal on the floor? Right? So can I still make it? Maybe? Yeah. You can still use that trick shot where you put it on the floor. Oh, using the portal from earlier. The thing is I can't put the portal on the floor. I can't put the portal on the floor, so I can't. When I shoot up, my inertia, because right now, if I look at the portal location, right? So there's my blue portal there, but for me to use that same inertia trick that I did over here, I'd have to be able to put the portal on the floor, which I can't do. the ones that I just used, there's a max velocity. There's a max. The fall speed of the player is capped, so I don't think I can make it high enough. We can try. Yeah. Right. So if I drop down, I guess yeah, and I think there's a max velocity that I have. So no matter how high I go, yeah. So even if I make myself go super high, right? So that was so high that I actually tunneled into the wall. But yeah, I think there's a max velocity. Well, I know there's a max velocity because I put a max velocity. But let's see what that velocity is. Is there a max velocity? Am I lying? I know y'all can't see it because it's off the screen. Yeah, max velocity is 6. So yeah, there's a terminal velocity of 6, so you can't pass that. But this would be mean, but it would work. So you leave the portal there because you can't put a portal up here, right? And then you can trick shot. You can do like the ricochet off the ground. Ah, that scared me. I scared myself. And I like that I keep the portals around even after death. There's probably some interesting things that can be done there too. Alright, so I've set the portal. And I've got the orange portal down at that lower level. So then I can make my way back down. Right, and then you pop right out. So you're here, you can go, all right. I need the velocity. That's a really difficult puzzle though. Well, but now you're out of charges. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if that's too hard of a puzzle though. That's really tricky. Yeah, you need your jump charges on the blue side, but the problem is that you need to have enough momentum. Well, no, I guess you don't need a lot of momentum coming out. Right, so you got your charges and you just kind of like drop in. And there you go. So, yeah, you can do it that way. Am I at the top of the map? Nope. So now scaling vertically like that. Yeah, having the little ledge is like, yeah, okay, I figured that out. I'm gonna use the same technique here, and it's like, damn it. Well, and it's the same issue, is that now I have to go all the way back down because I don't want to reset this portal down here, right? That portal needs to stay because that's my entry point. That's just mean. Yeah. I don't know. You can still do it, right? You just kind of like roll over here, set your portal, go in, and you can still make it out, right? So I don't need to introduce another mechanic, the bomb jump. I can also make it, I can also force the issue at this point over here by removing your ability to ricochet off the bottom. Yeah, I could potentially create a scenario where you're not able to bounce the portal off to actually place it, to force this new mechanic. So we made it all the way up here using that same technique, bouncing it off the bottom. That one's simple. You can use the same technique there. Well, this one's interesting because you don't have as much of a give. Yeah, you can still get it. I need to make portals disappear. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so you can still kind of ricochet it off. And now you're at the top of the stage, which is kind of cool. That roll is acting weird. Jump off the stage. Oh, there's gonna be so many. I want to have a lot of vistas within the game. I definitely want that. Let me increase the zoom factor a little bit though. Yeah, like the Chozo ruins, just different. Yes, 100%. Want to have those things. Let's clamp it down to 0.5 and decrease the DX. Kind of funny if you start the game seeing a collectible on the roof and you're like, yeah, exactly. It's like the goal is right here. You see it. You're just like, how do I get there? So there's your zoom. Yeah. A little bit higher zoom out. I think that's good. Yep, so you see that collectible on the roof and you're like, I can make it. I can traverse all the way up here. Yeah, and then let's actually fall off the edge. I like how the game's coming along, and I like how far I've taken these mechanics. But I'm gonna have to introduce some form of enemies, like moving objects, platforms, just to help the interest curve. I think the wall climb here is good, but you can cheese it by ricocheting things. Ice beam, ice beam, ice beam, hook shot, bombs. Like, all these are potential options. But I'm trying to find a scenario where you can't use your portals and your movement trajectory. I'm trying to find a way to where, yeah, you can't use just the combination of those two things to traverse this world. And so far, we've been able to do that. Enemies that eat portals. So yeah, like have a speed and timing mechanic. Another idea I had was like timed doors that you have to get through. So yeah, you can take the approach where you just slowly move upwards and then finally make it through. But yeah, enemies that zap you if you boost near them. That's true. I could also do something where you can't use the ricochet on the ground. It's a surface that the portal can't, that you can't place a portal on, or it automatically destroys the portal. So there's ways I can force the player to, and limit the player in their ability to use the portal. The question is, what's going to be the most fun and interesting? I need to fix that. If the portal goes too far. How long should a portal last? Three seconds? Let's see what that feels like. Right, calc shot portals. I don't keep track of when the portal was shot, I don't think. Yeah, I don't keep track of that. Let's keep track of that. Do I have a concept of a clock? I think I do. I don't have a clock, really? New game at, on floor at. Do have this. What do I use to set that timestamp? I guess I use tick count. Okay, that works. I don't pass that in though. Fine, I pass that in. Let's get it working, and then I'll worry about passing it in. So I have a shot at, and then I want to say for the shot portal, let's make the portal nil. All right, so now there's a shot at. Yeah, and have the portal explode or something. So if I say calc shot portals, calc portal, if portal dot shot at dot elapsed time is greater than 3 seconds, we said. I can't just set it to nil, can I? Because I have no reference to it. Calc shot portals. I'm gonna have to change this, create some kind of container. If the blue portal, and it's placed, and it's shot at, and its elapsed time is this, then set it to no. And do the same thing for the orange portal. All right, let's see if 3 seconds is enough. Oh, 180, thank you. Yep. So they disappear now. It's a nice little effect. All right, so I can force something. Let me move that logic over. I can force something, but dang it. What mechanic do I add? I don't know. I don't know what mechanic to add. There are a lot of mechanics I can add. I don't know which one I'm going to invest in. And how much to invest in that mechanic to find that it's a shitty mechanic. Doors and keys adds timing. Not that interesting. Adding bombs gives you the ability to do a bomb jump. Gives you the ability to kill enemies using bombs. Don't know. Yeah, I have to move this. I have to move this. This nil stuff somewhere else, because I can't just set the reference to nil like that. Calc needs to return a result with respect to whether the portal should be destroyed. Basically that. All right. So, adding bombs, is that interesting? Versus hookshot versus time doors and timing mechanics versus terrain that you can't place portals on, or terrain that destroys portals. So if I used a bomb, bombs you can place in the air. So you press space, put a bomb down. Bomb has an explosion, shoots you based on the trajectory of that explosion, and pushes you higher up. Explosion can be cool. It can kill enemies. You can place multiple bombs. Having the concept of a bomb allows you to do even more interesting things with trick shotting. I can have enemies, I can have bosses, destructible terrain. That feels like the funnest mechanic to add. How do they explode? Timed? A time-based explosion? Is it a remote explosion? If it's time-based, then you have to time your maneuver on it. If it's a remote explosion, then you can only set one bomb at a time. I think I like the idea of a remote explosion. Yeah. I agree, because your movement mechanic is so fluid and instantaneous that having to like time a bomb would be annoying. But being able to place a single bomb and then come down, explode it, set another bomb, come down and explode it. Are bombs something that have a quantity? How many bombs can you place in the air? Can you throw bombs? Like launch them? Do bombs fall? How do bombs replenish? So many questions. But I can start with the bomb, and then answer those questions as I play around with it. Are bombs only things that you can add in the air? No, you can press. So many questions. All right. Let's get bombs in there, and then we'll figure out the answers to those questions. Bombs. Bombs. All right. Placing a bomb. What's our schema going to look like? Where are OMS is located? OMS cells are on the player. All right, I'll put bombs in the player. Bomb, single bomb. Multiple bombs, single bomb for now. How do I do the input? Input requests. If input requests dot place or detonate. That's part of game dev. Get fun functions like this. Place or detonate. Input player OMS. Input player bomb. Input requests. Place or detonate. Inputs.keyboard.keydown.b. All right, we have our input requests, and if not player.bomb, then we want to create a bomb. Player.y width will be some value 8. Set the height. Else we'll detonate the bomb. Render. Let's look at rendering. Render bomb. Prefab for the bomb. I can just return the bomb. What am I doing? And for the prefabs, do I do the camera space? Yep. Do the camera space in there. Camera space. I need the player and the camera. And then the bomb itself. All right, I have my prefab. Put that in the scene. I call it prefab, right? Yep. Wrong number of arguments. Only taking the player. All right. So when I place a bomb, don't know how to convert that. Makes sense. Goshu? How dare you? How dare you, Copilot? I'm offended. Copilot has just offended me. Wow, that hurts. That's kind of funny. What color? Green. Green for bombs. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? And there's my bomb. Right. There we go. Shoot up. Place a bomb. Detonate the bomb. Cool. So detonation. Player in detonation range, and what I want to set the bomb detonation range erect is equal to 16. Really? Does that feel good? Let me see what that looks like. Let's see what the detonation range looks like. Scale rect, 4, 8, 2. That's tiny. It's a little too tiny. What about 8? Detonation range for the bomb. How big do I want this explosion radius to be? I think I want it bigger. How does 20 feel? Yeah, that looks good. That's a good detonation range. So, bomb size is what? 8 times 20? 160. Alright, so the bomb detonation rect will be... X value will be the X value of the bomb minus 4. Y value. I still can't believe that Copilot auto completed with Goshu. Detonation rect. Turn nil if not bomb. Otherwise, I want otherwise I want the detonation rect. Never mind. I want this here. I can't believe that. I'm beside myself. Alright, so the detonation rect will be this. Exceptions, exceptions. Where is the exceptions? Minus 80, minus 4. Alright, so that's the detonation rect. I think that looks good. Alright, so now that I have my detonation rect, I want to see if the player is in range of detonation, which would be player intersect rect, bomb detonation rect. And if the player is in the detonation area, we do that. I need to pass in geometry, which is fine. Just want to make sure this works. Intersect rect question mark. All right, that was correct. Place the bomb. Not in area. Okay. So now that we have the detonation, I want to get the vector between the bomb and the player. Is it angle 2? Let's try angle 2. 200 degrees. I don't know if that's 267, so I need angle from. I can never remember if it's angle 2 or angle from. $90. All right. So 90 degrees to the player. And at that point, I want to set the player X equal to, whoa, there we go. Angle from player.dx plus equal angle dot vector x times 6, because that's the max speed of the player. Same thing with the vector y. So we shoot the bomb. Woo! That is badass. I like that, I think. You have a bomb. Place it. Detonate.
Okay, I found this on the web for
Go.
detonate. Check it out.
Go away, Siri. I swear. I like, bomb is nice. That speed is high though. The trajectory speed might be too high. And then I gotta decide about how it replenishes. That is fun though. Yeah, because you can use the bomb to. That's lots of fun. The mobility is going to be phenomenal. I really like this mobility now. Hmm. The mobility is almost too good. Like, it removes the need. It removes the need for portals if I give them infinite bombs. Because this is not trivial to get past. Because you can just shoot bombs all day long. I think the radius should probably still be bigger. Now I could also do something where the distance from the bomb, the closer you are to the bomb, the yeah. Let's add that. That's gonna help. So distance from the bomb would be just distance. $80 pixels versus 28. Yeah. So the smaller the distance, the more vector you'll get, or the more explosiveness you'll get. And in that case, it would be farthest would be 80, right? So the percentage of the power would be based on its radius, and then that controls the how badly you get, how far you get thrown out. So if you're close to the bomb, I think that's correct, right? One minus. Yeah, so if you're far away, you barely get any push from the bomb. If you're close, then your push is much larger. I think that helps. You just still have so much mobility with this damn bomb. Right, all day long you can just be like, shoot yourself up. So I can set a limit, saying that you don't get another bomb until you land. I could have a quantity of bombs. I could have bombs fall. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. Having your bomb replenish when you drop is not a terrible idea, though. I should also have it deal with the spin of the player also. Terrain physics. Collide DX, collide DY. Yeah, rotational transfer. So not only does it do that, but it affects your rotation. I like that idea too. So you got a bomb. You start spinning left. Detonate. In that case, I needed to set the speed of the player. Set a plus equal. It's just straight. Right, so you're spinning left. Let's try that again. What? It's wrong. Yep, shoot you back up. That's good. Alright, now if I'm spinning, rotational transfer is wrong. I think. Right, so if I'm spinning left and I explode the bomb, I'm expected to go that way. But what about if I'm below the bomb? If I'm spinning left and I'm below the bomb, that's correct. I'm gonna have to think through this specific thing here. Spinning left. Detonate the bomb. I do end up going left. Alright. This is not gonna work too well, I don't think. Let's play around with it. I mean, let's get this piece in place and then I'll clean up and refactor. Everyone's left, everyone's quiet. Everyone's bored. Like, screw you. I'm tired of watching. Squib, thank you. Thank you. Someone's here. What kind of dub do you do? Conversation. Conversation makes me feel less lonely. Alright, you spin. Detonate the bomb. You're going the wrong way. You look at Y, not X. Awesome. What is your Discord username? I'm assuming it's different. If you want to say. If you don't want to say, that's totally fine. Ah. How's your you're doing the training videos, right? If I remember correctly. No, you did the iOS extensions, the haptic and stuff. Awesome. How does my dev process differ from yours, if it does? I would be interested to know. Yep, so if I'm spinning this way, I think that's... What's more intuitive? I don't know. Alright. So if you're spinning that way, lots of experimentation. So I'm assuming hopefully similar, taking advantage of all the live reload and everything. Awesome. That's good to hear. Alright, but what if you're on the side of the bomb? And you're spinning left. I think that's correct. Alright, so bombs take into consideration your spin, which is nice. Alright, so you can use the bomb, you're like, alright, I need to shift over just a little bit. Yeah, the question of the number of the bombs is still a question, I guess. Because you can use bombs all day long and just keep shooting yourself everywhere. Yeah, I do like. I really do like the movement, because you have bombs to move around. You can use all the things to move around. What if I decrease the power? What if I increase the power? Do you have ideas for what the character role will be? Yes, I actually do. So the narrative idea, and the narrative is actually a really important aspect of it. Is you're a von Neumann probe. So you're yeah, let me stop playing so I can explain it. All right. So your consciousness, you're a person on Earth who sold their consciousness to a project, a von Neumann probe project, and the project is essentially to download human consciousnesses into these probes that are then sent out into space to find life, right? To explore past what humanity, the lifespan of humanity. So you're still on Earth. You're the person that's still the person is still on Earth, but they have a version of their consciousness within the probe. And as far as like the motivation of selling it, a lot of controversy. Should we do this? Is this moral? Blah blah blah. So it's an opt-in, and for those people that opted in, they get, sell your body to science, sell your brain to science kind of money. So you're a person in your 20s that basically needed the cash and had the intellect and propensity to be in isolation for long periods of time, and so your psyche was compatible with being in a von Neumann probe. So the probe initiative or whatever ended up saying that you're eligible to do this, and you'll get some money for doing this. So you end up getting some money for doing this, and this is like the backstory that will be revealed throughout this game. But you're given some money to do this, and then a part of the protocol is that the person whose consciousness is in a specific probe, the probe communicates with that same person. So your primary communication medium, or the person you communicate with, is yourself on Earth. And so this probe gets sent out, and on its way towards some far off galaxy, it finds a rogue planet that wasn't detected in because it wasn't what's it called? It wasn't orbiting a star. So the probe's like, hey, I found this rogue planet on the way to blah blah blah, and let's say it's like 3 months out into space. So 3 months at some arbitrary speed of C, and communication comes back and says like, hey, I'm probe XYZ. I found this rogue planet. I'm going to explore it. And you get a response from yourself on Earth saying that, cool, do the exploration. Keep me posted on what you find on this planet. And then the general story, and the thing is that this rogue planet is continuing to barrel out into space further and further away from Earth. So communication takes longer and longer over time. And then during the communication, you find a dead civilization on this planet. You're communicating that back to your home, but every point in the game, that time, there's a time lag. First, it's only 3 months to get that communication, or 1 month. Now it's 3 months. Now it's 1 year, 2 year, 5 years. And so what happens is that during the communication, and since you are talking to yourself, you talk about personal things. So you get the story of what happens on Earth throughout this time dilation, and kind of see what's happening on Earth over however many tens of years, 20 years, however much time has passed. And then you also get the story of yourself on the planet as they grow in life. So you were launched when it was in the 20s. Well, now you're in your 30s. What's changed? What's the political climate? What is the personal life? Did they get married? Did family members pass away? Also, other narrative components would be reminiscing about childhood. So there'll be some like fun conversations around, oh, hey, remember your first crush, or remember that time where you were told not to do this one thing, or you broke your bone. And so trying to really hopefully capture in those conversations the emotion that each player will feel with respect to the topic that's being discussed. So maybe they talk about, oh, remember that your first love that didn't work out, and it's their story, but then the player themselves are like, well, that has me nostalgic about when I was in that specific time. And then the ending, and the ending is a sad ending. And the ending is as the time dilation occurs, you're towards to like maybe 40 years into the person's life. So your home person's 60 years old, but catastrophes happened on Earth. Things are bad, right? Maybe it's global warming, maybe it's war, maybe it's whatever it might be, and you hear about the collapse of that civilization while you're exploring the collapse of this one. And at the end, you're that was a weird bump. But yeah, by the end of the game, you're in that situation where you're like, wow, everyone, myself included, on Earth is dead. Where do you go from here? And that's kind of how it ends. So that's the general concept and the narrative themes that I'll be exploring. But doing a Metroidvania that has this peaceful aspect, but touchy topics, heartfelt topics. But yeah, that's the general. And a lot of my games are centralized around those kind of emotions. My gameplay is generally more simpler, right? I'm not looking to make the Dark Souls of Metroidvania, but yeah, definitely bittersweet ending. Maybe the exploration of the civilization ends up being that when you get to the end, they end up having coordinates to where they expanded out, and so maybe that's how it ends. Maybe it's like, well, I want to know these people, or I want to know this civilization, and maybe the civilization that got destroyed is my interpretation of a utopia. And Mira, what is your preferred way for us to support your work? Buy my existing games. I've got games that are already out there. So they're on mobile. They're one's on Nintendo Switch. Hopefully, I'll be releasing them to Steam. But yeah, I think that's just, if you like the ideas of, or the style of the game that I'm building, you'll find that the games that I've already built have the same feel. So purchase them, gift them to your friends and family. That's a great way to, air quotes, support me by having fun and playing games that you may potentially enjoy. I think I have the links to my games on my stream somewhere. Do I have a link to my website? No? Yeah, wait. Yeah, if you just go to mirrorzon.net, there'll be links to my games there, or if you type games and Mirrorzon, I'm sure you'll find them. But mirrorzon.net has the links to my games. But that's a great way to support me if y'all want. So yeah, that's the idea. And then I guess with respect to the civilization, kind of see it as a utopia. Maybe it's by the end of the game, I want you to be sad to find that the civilization has died off because they did it right. Whatever that definition of right ends up being for my interpretation. But you see, you get historical archives of what the civilization, how it evolved, what they did wrong, and what they fixed, and then their downfall ends up being that the star that they were potentially orbiting around, they have an unstable orbit that they've been trying to solve before it gets too crazy, and then that's what happens. The orbit became so destabilized that it ended up becoming a rogue planet. And so you find out about the fall. You're like, wow, that's really sad that such a good civilization went extinct. But then you find that they actually didn't. So it's sad that everyone on Earth goes extinct, but you find that this civilization did not. And so maybe the ending is you set your waypoint to go find this civilization. I think that'll be the specific ending, and then you'll get a final communication from yourself at on Earth, saying like, hey, I'm on my deathbed. I just want you to know that that I love you. And it's kind of weird. It's like the aspect of loving yourself and being proud of who you are. Getting those heartstrings pulled on also to remind people that are playing that don't be too hard on yourself. Shit happens. It's okay. Things will get better. Things will work out. Maybe not, but it's not your fault, kind of thing. So yeah. That's what the game is going to be about. And maybe from that perspective, like, the bombs are there. Maybe there aren't enemies. Maybe there are. What would you tell yourself? Kind of question exactly. What would you tell yourself? And maybe there's like and this person air quotes thinks like you too, right? So there's that facet of they know what's going through your mind, but vocalizing it is still therapeutic to some extent. But yeah, that's the idea. There was one situation where the bomb felt like weird when it had the trajectory. But yeah, all right. So bombs are in play. They feel good. I don't know what to do with these damn bombs. Mobility is good. If I add enemies, then I gotta explain the enemies. Why are these enemies there? Are they the ones that... Are they just microbes that kind of are able to survive in this very hostile, freezing rogue planet kind of situation? Lump, stop licking yourself. It's really weird. Dogs, I swear. Yeah, they could be like flora or fauna that are just kind of evil and hazardous to you. Yeah, I try to stream when I can, based on how busy things are. But finally, a lot of big release of DragonRuby went out, which is nice. So with that in the bag, I was like, yeah, I can actually do some streaming. The rotation's still freaking weird. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's affecting Yeah, like what the hell happened there? It like shot backwards. Wait, what? Yeah, I gotta figure out the rotation to figure out what the deuce is going on there. I don't know if its percentage was negative or not. Range. Let's set it to 160. Yeah, maybe it was just the range. But Mira, did you learn Ruby by reading any of the popular books, or did you just do it and pick it up? Yeah, I did. I did build automation using Ruby for .NET projects, and that's kind of how I picked up Ruby. Actually, have very little Rails experience, but that's how I picked it up. And then I ended up reading one book called Eloquent Ruby, which was all right. I don't know if I would. I think I'd be more critical of the things within that book today than I was when I first started, but it was a good starting book. And then the book that really like was eye-opening for me was Metaprogramming Ruby, and I think that did a good job of showcasing like all the sheer power that Ruby has. But yeah, Eloquent Ruby, just screwing around with Ruby, doing build automation, and then Metaprogramming Ruby is probably the book that made me want to invest in this language long term. Yeah, it's Metaprogramming Ruby is a really great book. I enjoyed it a lot. Number of bombs. What do I do here? And this might be a good stopping point, like while I think about how I'm gonna change this up. I can't have infinite bombs because Tang, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. I don't know if you were here when I gave the whole spiel on the storyline, but if you were, love your thoughts on the storyline too if you have any. But you got bombs now. Bombs make things interesting. I could have anti-bombs that pull you in instead of push you out. Maybe increase the speed, the fall of the player to, let's see, maybe clamp it to 15 instead of 10, maybe. Let's see if that feels good. Ooh, that's really fast. That might be a little too much. Maybe 10. Yeah, I'll have to play around with it. And that launch is huge. Maybe plus equals instead of Yeah, you can use the bomb to slow down. I like that. Then you've got your rotational spin. Spun the wrong way, maybe? I don't know. Let's try here. Got your rotational spin. That was correct. Yeah. I'll figure it out. I think I like the speed increase. I like the zoom. Bombs are OP. Probably only one bomb until you land. So you use that to kind of move up. Man, that's pretty OP. So probably just one bomb. Kind of peaceful there too. It'll be a ability I guess you unlock at some point in the game, and that's the problem now. It's like the traversal of the game has to be interesting enough. I need to add something, hazards, moving hazards. So that forces you to use, like, you know, your different abilities. Yeah, I have to put some kind of hazards or something. Shoot yourself up. Being able to put a bomb through a portal would be kind of fancy. It's really fun though. Yeah, I think we can do some fun stuff. Probably enemies too. Things you have to kill with the bombs. Maybe like when if something is following you or chasing you. Place a bomb to explode it. So traversal mechanism and also a deterrent of hostile stuff. Yeah, but I think bombs are good. All right, let's. I'm gonna do a refactor and then I'm gonna call it a night, I think. But yeah, if any of y'all have any questions, please feel free to ask. More than happy to answer. Geometry. Pass that in. remove the state variables here. I think that's was the primary refactor that I wanted to do. Still got to figure out spin. How I want that to operate. Yeah, the explosion itself, it'll probably like span out. So this distance, this will all be reworked, but I think that's good. Enemies would be a pretty easy addition. Using bombs for traversal is tricky because it makes you even more mobile than you already are. But having the bomb reload, having only one bomb available until you hit the ground again. Or maybe it's a consumable. Don't know. If I make it a consumable, then yeah, that gives you the option of placing them in multiple places. But if it's consumable, then it makes it harder to deal with enemies because you have a limited amount. It can also be a power-up. You can hold multiple bombs. There'll be options. Traversal becomes way easier, at least verticality. This traversal is still tricky. You know, using a bomb here is probably not the wisest thing given how small these specific areas are. Yeah, so for the traversal of that, you're probably still, it's probably wiser to set your portals. There's one portal. No! Didn't make it. Drop down. Yeah, maybe use a bomb to get there. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. One bomb until you hit the ground and then it recharges. Enemies are going to be interesting in that you have to catch them all. So if they're following you, being able to explode an enemy as it comes past you. Maybe some don't follow. Bosses will be interesting. Maybe use yourself as a I like that idea. So instead of the bombs being the bomb itself could hurt the enemy, but so can you. So maybe you're not a you don't take damage. I mean, but you don't take damage, but you can damage enemies more or less based on how hard you hit them. So if you hit an enemy with more power, then that makes bombs more active. So yeah, there's like an enemy there. You can hit it with the bomb, or you can hit them with yourself. We'll see. All right. Anyways, I think that's a good stopping point. Let me do my commit. Added bombs. Camera, all those things are there. Stage those. Stage the schema. What change did it make to lava? Let's remove that change. Oh, I deleted a file. That's a bug in Hotload, huh? This file's no longer there. Anyways. Cool. Like it. All right. Thanks for everyone that hung out. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll stream at some point. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Have a good one.